Hello, men and women. So, I just wanted to make a quick video discussing a question that I was asked today at my local. Which one should I play, Heavenly or Dragon Circle? And I think this is an interesting question just because I do not think that one is objectively better than the other. I think they are tournament dependent, and I think that it matters what you expect to see in the tournament along with hand traps. So, two key principles to why Heavenly Dragon Circle is better. Do we know what attributes are about to be played in the tournament, being light and dark, because those are easy destruction for Protoss? Or are there going to be a lot of hand traps in the tournament, like Imperm and Effect Veiler? Pretty much primarily because getting Ash on your Heavenly Dragon Circle does not feel good. So are we expecting lots of Imperms, Veilers, or Darks, or Lights? That's what I think makes Heavenly better than Vessel. Because Vessel is a consistency card. Any Tenyi in your hand going first is now full combo, right? And a +1 like that, I think, gets way too much on value. I think people hate on Vessel way too much when recursion is actually really important in the Tenyi Swordsoul version. Now, I think DPE did affect people's perception on like how much recursion matters, because if you resolve your Celestial in the DPE build going first, you're probably going to win. So it's kind of a two-turn deck in that sense. Now, I know people play the Tenyis with DPE. Now, could we play Vessel in these versions too? I think yes. I think you could even get away with playing a lot of cards or lower Tenyi count. Reason being is Vessel, in combination with even the Sword Souls, still gets you a ton of value, and that recursion is going to come up because your DPE is usually going to be summoned the first turn, or just not at all, right? So like if I want my Ashuna for turns 3, 4, 5, because I've probably already used my Baron or my DPE. So those are the two non-wire monsters that we want to summon in the Sword Soul deck. Now, going into that more, Heavenly is obviously better going second, and you're usually going to win more games going first, so wouldn't we want the card that's better going second? Avoid, like, not even, what's the word? Just not even thinking about the Protoss ad, because the Protoss ad going first is also really important. Destroying Heavenly off Baxia, not very bad. So I think that's why people are starting to think this card's better than Vessel entirely. But Vessel's a +1 and just adds consistency outright, right? Any Tenyi in your deck is going to be a full combo with Vessel. Now, interesting with Dragon Circle is it's kind of like Gamma in a way. You have to play a driver target, which is Blue Guy, because I think Blue Guy is terrible to draw. Definitely can lose you a game, just like playing a second Blackout or a second Summit, just like, or 3 or 2 Taiye, 3 Taiye. These cards, eventually you're going to lose some games because you draw them going second, or you draw too many, or it's just dead going first with Taiye, for example. So it's important to realize that these cards just like aren't outright better than the other. It's really what you're expecting at your tournament. Now, another interesting topic I would like to get into that I heard in Fraser's podcast with Pat is they talked about how hard once per turns, every additional copy of your already, so like we have one Heavenly Dragon Circle or one Vessel. When we draw another Heavenly Dragon Circle, that one's dead after we've already used our first one. So could it actually be better to just play Vessel and Heavenly in combinations with each other? Because then, if you're drawing both of them together going second, you might actually be able to blow out a lot of boards with just Vessel and Heavenly. And a Tenyi, we're assuming. Because you might be maxing out on Tenyis. I don't know your build, but I think you can still play the DPE version with the Tenyis, just because when you get to turns 3, 4, 5, the only real monsters you want to summon turn 1 that aren't Wirearms are DPE and Baron. After those are summoned, we want our Tenyis in our deck, right? We want the Tenyi value because it really helps you outgrind and it helps you play through anything. So I do think those can be played in DPE. But back to what I was talking about. Vessel is really good. It just adds so much consistency. But in combination with Dragon Circle, I think that we can just really play through a lot of boards. And you know, it can be even like 1 and 2 or 2 and 1. Or if we, like I said, if we expect all dark and light decks, we can just play the Heavenly because we need to add Protos. Sending Protos off the vessel does not come up very much in order to add it back at Hara, because you really have to open up a Taiye for that play to resolve. You know, and that does happen though. So like, Vessel's not terrible, and that's why I hate when I see these builds that are just or not builds. I hate when I hear these opinions that like X card sucks, because I really think that like they both serve their own functions. Vessel's more of a consistency card. Heavenly gets ashed, you're pretty upset. Vessel gets ashed, you don't really care. Hopefully you have desires or, you know, a Moye, so you're still getting this advantage. And a lot of the time they do ash Vessel, so it might even be a bait for a hand trap, right? So that's pretty much all I wanted to say, was just like, these cards aren't definitively better than one or the other, and I think you should plan accordingly to the tournament you're about to participate in. What do you think people are playing? Or you don't really know what people are playing, let's play Vessel, right? I hope you enjoyed this video. If you give me a sub, I really appreciate it. It goes a long way. I'm trying to hit 1K. If you enjoyed this little comparison of just 2 cards, I try to make it short because, you know, it's a topic that shouldn't take that much time. If you enjoyed that, let me know. I could do 2 more cards because I think that the same theory, it can be applied to a lot of cards that you pick over. So, you know, what's better, talents or prosperity, right? So I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and have a good one.